Hey, GED students. Pamela emailed me at lightandsaltlearning@gmail.com, and she was working on the one of the advanced level practices on the, let's see, what page of the crash course is this one on? It is on the combining like terms page. Advanced level practice, it's the adding and subtracting polynomials practice. All right, she got stuck on number 18. Pretty tricky, just mostly because it's long and intimidating. As it turns out, the math isn't actually that hard, but it looks kind of scary. So let's go ahead and tackle this together. So the first thing you're going to notice is I can't start adding and subtracting quite yet. A reason for that is because these polynomials are in these groupings here. We've got to deal with the groupings before we can start addition and subtraction. Remember, we're just simplifying here. We follow the order of operations. Now, that being said, some groupings matter and some don't. Basically, a really good rule of thumb is if there's nothing out front of a grouping, like this grouping has nothing out front of it, or there's just a positive sign, then you can just drop the groupings with no consequences. And so that's what I'll do on this first one. I'll just drop that parentheses. It's not really doing anything. Order doesn't matter. Here with a list of terms, I'm just going to drop it. Okay, great. But be careful. If you see a negative out front, this means we're subtracting everything in that following grouping. And so that negative is actually affecting every single term inside the grouping. And so we are going to distribute it. And a lot of students don't think of distributing with subtraction. They're like, what? Why am I distributing? That's what we do with multiplication. Well, what I'm saying here is subtract everything in that grouping. And so another way to think of that is it's like I'm multiplying by -1. All that's going to happen is that all the terms are going to change signs, okay? So if you look in the parentheses, that was a positive a, now it's going to be minus a. And that was a plus 8a squared, now it's going to be minus 8a squared. And that was a plus 2, now it's going to be minus 2. Okay, now I stop right there at the end of that parentheses, but we do also happen to have a negative in front of this next parentheses, and so now I'll do the same thing. I'll pass out that negative to everything in that next grouping. So that was a positive 6a squared, it'll become a negative 6a squared. And that was a minus 9, and so it's going to flip its sign. It's actually going to become a positive 9. And the reason for that is because the opposite of subtracting is adding. All right, and now that I dealt with those groupings and they got dropped, they got dealt with, now I can add and subtract. And remember that you can only add and subtract the same kinds of things, like terms. Now, I'm going to be a nice anal retentive mathematician. You're not wrong if you don't do it this way, but I'm going to go in the standard order as I gather my terms. Standard order. Now, standard order when you're talking polynomials is not required, it's just normal, okay? But what it basically is it's in decreasing order of exponents. So our exponents will go in decreasing order. So start with the largest one. So largest exponent I see here is a 4th power. And so I'll start by gathering up all the terms with the 4th power. So let's take a look. Oh, that is my only term with the 4th power. So 9a to the 4th power doesn't combine with anybody. He'll just be dropped down into the expression. Okay, next largest power I see is the 2nd power. Now remember, when you look at terms, you keep the sign that's in front of them. So that's negative 11a squared. Negative a squared, see how neat I am with boxing up my negative sign too, and negative 6a squared. Now I need to combine these. A lot of students struggle with negative numbers, but if you did this on the GED, you'd have your lovely TI calculator. So you can just put the coefficients, that means numbers, okay guys, the numbers into your calculator. So I'm going to type negative 11. Now when I type negative, I use the negative key down at the bottom next to enter. Looks like that, negative 11. But now I'm going to have these minus signs that are between numbers. So I'll type the regular minus 8 and then the regular minus 6. Press enter. What did I do? Oh, I forgot to type my 8, you guys. I struggle. Okay, and I get negative 25. Now, negative 25, what? Well, just like when you're, gathering up apples or gathering up oranges, they don't change their number when you're counting how many they are. So it's just negative 25a squared. I'm sorry. I think that was confusing. Let me say it again. Like if I had 3 apples and I had 4 apples and I put them together, I'd have 7 apples. They wouldn't be some new thing like apples or something. Okay, so same thing here. If I'm putting together a squares and a squares, I still have a squareds. Okay, so I got my a squares. Now I'll do my plain old a's. Let me grab another color so we can see it. How about purple? That's my only a term, and so there's nothing to combine him with. He'll just drop. And now finally, last of all, I do my constant terms. Constant terms is just a fancy word for the plain old numbers. So +1 minus 2 plus 9. And again, feel free to use your calculator if you struggle. 1 minus 2 plus 9. And I do get 8. Now, it just came out of my calculator like 8. Remember, don't make that common student mistake of shoving up the A and the 8. Now you're making them multiply. This is a list of terms we're gathering. So since it's a +8, I'm going to write +8. And when I keep using the word terms without defining it, that just means things adding and subtracting, guys. All right, so now this is my answer. Now this is why students think adding and subtracting polynomials is harder than it is, because a lot of students will look at this now and be like, well, what do I do from here? How do I add and subtract this? And the answer is simply you don't. You can only add and subtract the same kinds of things. We can only combine like terms. So this is as much simplifying as we can do. There's nothing else to do here. This problem is done. This is the answer, as ugly and as scary as it might look to you. And it is complete. All right, if you have any questions about this or any other GED math concept, be sure to drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them.